I'm not the spokesperson from the IE or anything, but like yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, we feel sometimes really slighted by what's happening and what comes out and happens in LA because I don't know, they just kind of, every opportunity they get to punk us or try to say some shit about us, that's the running joke. It's like, oh, we're somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in the IE or shit, or Fontana, or they'll say like a city out there and demean kind of what it is. And
yeah,
it's
they call it Fontucky.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, to be honest, it is Fontucky though.
What does that mean?
It is.
What does that even mean?
It's just like it's just small town. That's what they're trying to say. It's like it's a small town, and probably some cousins are here and there.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka Nomo, chilling right here in the LitOutlet podcast with a very special guest, Mr.
INFINITEDRE from the AM to the motherfucking Z, baby, from PLP. What's up?
Sheesh, we got a legend in the building, guys. We got.
I don't know about Dreamz. Legend, for relax.
We got a podcast legend.
My batting average is like 200, 250, which is crazy.
Yeah, we were talking stats earlier. He didn't want to talk about it, but I'm over here. I'm a historian. I'm a podcast historian over here, dog.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm you know, when I started the podcast, dog, it was one of those gay ass things where like, oh, there's not enough Mexican, Latino from where I'm from podcasters, right? And then I see you guys and Isimo and like all these other like Mexican podcasters and shit, like, and you guys are doing it big.
But still not in comparison to like the white people, the whiteys. Yeah. You know, and everybody else. Like there's still not, bro. There's only so many people that are making it like that are like Mexican and shit. So it's like it's still cool. Like I saw you guys, I was like, oh cool, raza. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But it's dope to see like people like, you know, like us and shit. Yeah. And then to me, compared to like I was telling you earlier, like I compare because I'm a baseball guy. I like to compare stats. Yeah. And you guys are really doing it big. So congratulations. And
shit. Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
So where are you coming from?
I'm coming from the IE, fool. I'm coming from San Bernardino and shit.
That's right.
Straight out the 909.
You were born and raised there?
I was born and raised in the IE. I wasn't born and raised in San Bernardino. I was like actually I was born in San Bernardino, but I lived in Fontana / Rialto. Okay. Like literally the border. Like, and that shit was kind of like, that shit was weird, fool, because it's like, it's really two different type of people in Rialto and Fontana, fool. Like, to the point where it's like, the cities are run different and shit. Like, I remember at one point, I lived right exactly on the border, fool. I'm not even playing. Okay. Of Rialto and Fontana. Fontana was low-key richer than Rialto at the time, fool. Mm-hmm. They literally paved the road. But Fontana, it was Maple. That was the name of the street, right? Okay. But they only paved Fontana's half of the road, fool, because it cuts off at the half mark. No. So the other half was all fucking cracked and ghetto, and this one's all nice. Fool. This shit, there's like white picket fences and shit. Over here is like tagging on the wall on the left side and shit. That's crazy. So yeah, fool, I come from the IE and shit. I'm born and raised. I went to school out there, and but it's crazy because you said out here, like, before we started, you're like, this is probably your last time coming out here, fool.
Yeah, welcome to Southgate. Probably your first and last time you're gonna be here.
Yeah. And honestly, fool, I don't think so because I actually have family out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't know. Where's Maywood at?
Yeah, it's right here down the street.
Right here, right down the street, right? I have family. They don't even know I exist. I swear, fool, they don't know I exist. Yeah. It's from my dad's side of the family. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I might fucking just stop by, fool, and just fucking meet some siblings. What's up, tia? Yeah, your dad. My dad fucked my mom. Like, we got the same dad, fool. That's just trippy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's like a stepbrother and shit?
Yeah, I guess your half brother. I guess I would say, but they swear, like they do not even know I exist.
Maywood is a super small city. Well, okay, look, Southgate, Maywood, right? Yeah. There's like these 7 super small cities, right? And it's called the like Southeast LA, right? And we're it's nothing but like little paisa cities and shit, right? And then like East LA is the big one, right? The one that's been known. But East LA Mexican people have been living there for like 100 years, so they're already on their 3rd or 4th generation. We're like we're Chicano, we're American, we're more over here than over there.
And then the whitewashed ones,
Yeah, and then you get into downtown, the west side, right? Cross over the buildings. But over here, it's like all the worker bees. Yeah. Like say you go to like a fancy sushi restaurant, there's gonna be Mexicans in the kitchen. You go to a fancy steakhouse, there'll be Mexicans in the kitchen.
Well, you already know. If you could just ask for tapatio and shit on your sushi.
Yeah.
Hey, this shit needs lemon, food.
Like sometimes I like to test, and I'll ask the waiter like, "Hey, you got some chili?" They're like, "Oh, we got sriracha, we got fucking what's the other one that I hate, Tabasco and shit like that."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, give me the one from the inside in the kitchen." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Just go ask the chef." And they come out like, "Oh, here, this is the one."
They come out.
I told you, bitch. Like, you don't even know.
Yeah, they come out with fucking el pato and shit.
Yeah.
I feel it. Or like, yucateca.
Yeah.
That shit bomb as fuck. That shit burn my asshole though.
we got a sponsor for a minute by shout out to Mariscos Campeón y Más, and they're down the street, right? And you literally walk in, bro, and they have like 45 bottles of like different types of salsa and shit. I'm like, I'm in the right place. And they got that brand El Yucateco. Yeah. Like every fucking flavor and shit.
Yeah, bro. And all of them burn your ass, fool. All of them burn your butthole, fool. It don't matter.
Where are your parents from?
My parents, they're from like my dad is from here in Maywood. And then my mom, she's from IE. She's IE too. But my grandparents, they're from Mexico.
Okay, what part?
On both sides. My grandpa's side of the family, they're from Ciudad Juarez.
Okay.
And my grandma, she was from Mexicali. And then my dad's whole side, they're all from Mexicali.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hot as fuck out there.
I was gonna say, you been there?
I've only been to Juarez once, bro. And I just remember like how fucking the sidewalks are like 7 feet tall.
Oh shit! Oh, like you have to go up and down.
Yeah, bro. They're all fucked up and shit, all chueco and shit. Fool. I'm like, damn, this is like my homie's teeth. Fool. They're all fucked up. Fool. Yeah, but I mean, I've only been out there once, fool, but it's like a vague ass memory, and I just know it smells like that, and it smells like fucking shit out there.
Yeah, Juarez is like a border town, no?
Yeah, it's right before Texas.
It's Texas.
El Paso.
Okay.
El Paso, and then the border, and then Ciudad Juarez.
I don't think I've been that far, but I've been to Mexicali. Mexicali is like Arizona, right? It's like a border town, Arizona.
Yeah.
I've been there once, dog, and my dad plays baseball, right? And he's one of those guys like that, just never gives up.
What's his batting average?
He's a pitcher.
Right,
his ERA was really low.
Okay. Yeah.
But we went to Mexicali one time for one of his lame ass tournaments and shit. And it was
lame ass tournaments?
Yeah.
We support you, Dad.
We love you, Dad, but fuck, want to go home.
Yeah, fucking suck.
Because it was back in those days, I was like 8 or 9, right? And I'm 33, so it was a long time ago. And we were in the van, and there was no AC, dog. And it was like 117.
Yeah,
in the desert. Like the baseball field was like in the middle of the desert. We're like, what the fuck are we doing here, dog?
Yeah. You guys are playing with the tumbleweeds and shit.
Sadio, they're like,
the Jalisco tumbleweeds.
And then they're like, there was like basically no columpios, you know, no swing set. But if there was one, it'd be fucking burning your ass. It'd be so fucking high, you know?
Yeah, bro, it's fucking terrible. I think I've been to Mexicali like once too, but like all this shit happened when I was like a little kid. Cause then my mom was literally like, it was her first time in Mexico when she took me. Okay. So it was like after that she's like, I'm fuck this, bro. Like the most Mexican I'm gonna go, most of Mexico is the swamp meet. That's it. That's as far as I'm gonna get to Mexico, and that's it. I'm not gonna.
And then my dad, speaking about playing baseball, we used to go to San Bernardino every Sunday.
Oh yeah.
When I was little to play baseball, dog.
Oh, I thought you were fucking trying to see the 66ers. I was like, what the fuck. I was like, this was you like minor league baseball? Like,
no, this we used to play, and then every Sunday, because they would pay that for $100 to show up and play, you know.
Damn, yeah. He's getting paid?
Yeah, it was always a bunch of rich like guys that own these little fucking teams.
Yeah.
And they would always try to win and they'll bet money on the games and shit.
Oh, word?
So my dad was like one of the better pitchers, so they'll pay $100 every time you pitch.
Yeah.
So
what was his fastest pitches, you know?
The thing about my dad, dog, you know what a knuckleball is?
Yeah.
Okay, he was good at knuckleballs.
Okay.
So he'll throw one and then he'll fucking throw one that like just made like stupid ass movement and shit. So
yeah,
and
those don't move as fast, no?
Yeah, no, they don't spin. The ball just floats like that and then it just dies and shit. So it was really hard to hit.
Oh, okay.
So he threw kind of hard, but it was mostly like his junk. He was a junk pitcher, which most people who are really good pitchers at this age, at those Sunday League teams, they're not gonna throw 100 miles an hour, dog, because it's one of those things. But yeah, dog. So one of the first times I ever drove in my life, like my dad never like took me to the parking lot or never took me to drive. He goes, "Oh, here are the keys." I was like 12, and he made me drive from here to San Bernardino.
Damn, on the freeway all the way back. Bro, there's no traffic because nobody wants to be in San Bernardino.
It was at 6 a.m, though, you know. So like the streets are even. I was fucking hyped, dog. I'll never forget about it. I think that's like my fondest moment with my dad and shit.
Yeah, really.
Going to San Bernardino.
Damn. Yeah. Well, my fucking best moment with my dad was when I saw that fool at this gravesite. So I mean, so I think you had a little bit of a better experience than I did. I'm just saying. You
never met your dad?
I met him. I don't know. I think he's met me. Maybe. I don't think I've met him. Okay. It's like, you know how consciousness works. I think I have. Like I think I remember this dude carrying me, but that might have just been some fool at the club. But that my mom was at the time. But I don't really remember that fool, honestly. Like I just remember like I think him holding me, and that's about it.
Okay.
And like it was like a memory. Like it was like a foggy ass memory. Fool. Like you know like when you're a fucking kid and you first get those first moments of consciousness. Yeah. And like you like it's random shit. It's just like me standing next to the couch, like for no fucking reason, you know.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, so it's like hard to kind of like a moment, but a memory for sure, you know.
Yeah, I think sometimes too, like when you're a kid, like or you're an adult, like you suppress some memories and shit, you know, like.
Yeah, I didn't know I did that, Phil. I did. I mean, why would you know?
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know I did that. There's a lot of memories that I've realized that I suppressed a lot, and now like to the point where I completely forgot them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
me too.
I'm not a.
And sometimes because
I'm not reliable.
When I was little and shit, like I don't know, maybe still am, but sometimes like I'm a fucking nervous person, and I just want to get the shit out of my head, you know, like and try to forget about that shit, because you know, growing up, especially as a guy, like there's a lot of awkward moments in your life and shit.
Oh yeah, bro. Some of the most awkward moments I've ever had were like. every single day of my life.
Everything I do.
Yeah, everything I did.
Everything I do is awkward.
Know? So then I'll go to sleep and I'll just randomly remember like this, like I don't know, a time that I asked out a girl and she's just like, ew, like, you know. But fuck that bitch. I'm up. Bro, where's your podcast, bitch? Where's your
podcast?
Bitch.
You can't even afford a mic. I have a super awkward memory that I don't think I told almost anybody, but fuck it, I'll just let it rip right here. My first kiss was with my homie's ex.
So, what?
So my homie was
shit.
My homie had game like in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
And he would get up with a bunch of bitches, and then one time he broke up with this bitch, and she was mad at him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna get with your homie." You know? And back then, you know, maybe I did know, but I'm gonna pretend like I didn't know. Like, you're not supposed to get with your homie's ex and shit.
Yeah.
And fucking, I got with her, and then she like, it was like right before summer vacation or whatever kind of vacation it was, and we made out and shit, and that was my first kiss. And I had been lying to everybody like, "Oh yeah, I've kissed before. I've kissed bitches before. I kiss bitches all the time." Dog.
Yeah, bro, I used to lie all the time too. I was like in 3rd grade. I'm like, yeah, bro, I got my dick sucked yesterday. They're like, yeah, bro, right in the lunch line. All the teachers were watching me get my cock sucked. That was the first time I ever got in trouble in school. I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And I was like talking crazy shit. Fool. I was in the library, I remember. And there's one of my homies. They're like, "Oh yeah, like you like so and so." I won't say her name because she's a fan. But they're like, "You like so and so?" And at the time, I was like, "Yeah, bro, that's my crush." He's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "You want to bone her?" And I was like, I didn't know what boning was. So I was like, "Yeah, bro, I want to bone the fuck out of her, bro." And I guess somebody heard.
No.
And so they told the teacher came just like, someone wrote a statement and they said that you wanted to quote unquote bone so and so. And I was like, nah, that wasn't me. and she's like, well, I know it was you. And I was like, well, fuck you, Miss Martin. But anyway, she sent me to the office and they fucking gave me like fucking detention and shit. Some bullshit.
Bro, I feel like that was how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, yeah, I'm older than you, but like back in those days, it was like the beginning of that stupid ass woke shit. Cause I used to get in trouble for stupid shit too, dog.
Yeah, boning bitches.
Saying I was into bone bitches.
Yeah.
But like saying bad words, dog, or like damn. I used to get in trouble for saying damn or ass. I'm like, bitch, they say that shit on TV all the time.
You go to Catholic school or some
shit? I know, that's what I'm saying. I went to the broke ass LAUSD fucking public school.
We were cussing up like pirates, feeling like 2nd grade. We were just like sailor men, just fucking fuck you, fucking bitch, like, and it's like. You know when you're a kid, you don't know how to cuss right.
Yeah.
So you fucker bitch, and it's like, what the fuck is it? What is that? You know?
Yeah.
And even now, like I try not to cuss as much as like I have a really fucking foul mouth. I don't know if you noticed, but
that's why you're here.
Yeah. I have a really fucking terrible mouth, but I try my best to control it now. Yeah. But then. I know. I don't. It's not so much even that I say bad words anymore, but I say out of pocket shit.
Yeah.
So then my homie's got to check me. I was like, Dreamz, you can't say that shit.
You know what? Because stupid ass Jeff couldn't make it. Fuck you, Jeff.
Shout out Jeff. Huh?
But technically, like what I've noticed too is like you're the Jeff of the Ponte las Pillas podcast. Like,
really? You think so?
Yeah. Like you.
Hey, for Jeff, you're handsome. For fuck. You look good, guapo.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't know what that means though.
Yeah.
He don't speak Spanish. He's a fucking straight up no sabo.
Oh, okay.
But you be saying like some fun, like the funniest shit. Like the times I laugh the most is when you say some crazy shit.
Really?
Or like your freestyles and shit. You know?
Oh, bro, my freestyles they go crazy, bro. I'm gonna make a fucking compilation and put an album out, and it's gonna be just my fucking it's gonna be just my intros and shit.
Fucking I've probably been watching you fools for at least 8 to maybe a year, right?
Yeah.
But how long has the podcast? How long has the freestyles been on? Is that since day one?
Freestyles, it wasn't day one, but it was close. It was like maybe 6 months into doing that. We had like a beat that we'd go off of because we always want an intro. But I think Lalo got an intro for the podcast.
Okay.
And I was just like, I like it, but I don't like how awkward it is when it stops. You know, like after that, and then you go like let's say the music stops, and it's just like. All right, guys, what's up? You know, and I don't like that, bro. I kind of like that the rap intro is an intro. You know, like it's the intro. It's the introduction to shit. You know.
Yeah.
So like when I'm rapping and shit, just crazy shit. Now we like broken the ice, and now now let's fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are fans of like Joe Budden and shit, right?
Well, this was.
Yeah. Well, you don't like him?
Not really.
You don't listen to the podcast at least?
No.
You ever listen to it? Like try to?
I used to listen to him when he was on Complex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that's how it would work. Like they started off with music, but they're like talking and shit. They're like, he's like, wait a minute, like you're just saying dumb shit, bro. And I'm like, if we just freestyle over these beats and shit, maybe it'd help us so we're not as awkward. Cause I think like it's really important to at least a minute in that you already have these fools' attention.
Okay.
Nowadays, in the days of short term content, like your brain gotta fucking work like Like if you're not interested within the first minute, you're not gonna give a fuck about it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's how it came to be with the intros. Here I am saying like claiming the credit for it. It was probably Lalo.
My idea.
Yeah. So my idea.
What I told the guys was.
Yeah. So when I started gathering my friends, like the Avengers, right? You know, they call me Tony Stark. That's crazy. Yeah. But and we started the podcast in 2019. Maybe like when was it? It was like April of 2019 or May of 2019.
Okay.
And I used to do vlogs and shit. Like, but it was like the knockoff. Like I don't know David Dobrik.
Yeah.
Like it was like knockoff David. Damn fool. No, I'm just like yeah, they were knockoff David.
No.
I know. Fuck with you. I'm giving you a hard time. But they were like knockoff David Dobrik vlogs, fool. And it was just literally like cut. There's like highs the whole time. And those were cool, you know. It would be like it's hard editing that way. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those days I would drop every fucking Wednesday. It was like for an entire summer. Like I'd drop every fucking Wednesday, and that shit was getting difficult, bro. I was running out of things to do. Yeah. I was running out because it was like one of those things where like if you don't have money, it's only gonna take you so fucking far.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's so many like they had like a lot of shit that they were like, fuck it, let's just throw a bunch of shit into a pool. And like bro, I don't anybody around here have pools. You know? And so I was running out of ideas one time, and it was this one Wednesday. I was like, all my homies are here though, but I don't have any ideas for what we can do, right? So we decided to do a Q&A because we had never been like formally introduced, my homies, and you know, to the camera, to the audience of 20 people that were watching.
Yeah.
And it was probably mostly them. I watched it twice. But these two are so we did a Q&A. We had the homies girl asking us questions, and we were just answering. But they were like wild questions and shit, you know, like what would you do on a desert? Out of everybody here, who would you fuck? I'd be like, ew, fuck the homie Johnny, fool. Like I'll put his legs behind his head like a chicken wing, fool. And people liked it. Like, it was by far not the one that was viewed the most in hindsight, but it had the most interaction. Like underneath, the comments were like popping. They were like, underneath, there was probably like 50 comments, which at this time is like a lot.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of comments. So it's like, you're like, fuck yeah, like people are responding. That's what you want. That's what I wanted. So then Lalo had noticed that. Lalo's the one who noticed that. And he was like, you know what, bro? I've been thinking about it. At the time it was most viewed, and then he's like, but our most interactive one is that one. He was like, we should do a podcast, you know, like we're talking, because people like when we're talking together. And I was like, that sounds cool. Like I didn't know where it was gonna go, right. So I was like, that sounds cool. Like I don't know. And he was like, yeah, bro, I really want to start it. The only thing is the shit's expensive. I was like, well, fuck it, fool. Like I gave him my credit card. I was like, here, buy whatever it is that we need. And at the time it was like a mixer. We didn't even have a camera. It was a mixer, 4 mics, and then like the cables, obviously, and then like a little table so we could sit down. Mm-hmm. And I think like a couch too, like, but it was like one of those cheap ones, like from Walmart.
Yeah.
And like, it was me, Lalo, and the homegirl Candace who started the podcast. And then after I want to say like a couple years is when we finally got Gazelle and Johnny on, and you know, we went through a couple guests that they just didn't want to do it. So then but respect them, we love them, by the way. And Gazelle and Johnny joined, like, I want to say a couple years after, and then that's when it really took off because we had got finally visuals. We kind of got the editing where it needs to be for the TikTok and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then just crazy-ass topics from there because now at Mesh, there was a way better chemistry, and it's a lot easier with 4 than if it's just you and me talking, you know? Yeah. Like right now. Fucking Jeff, bro.
Fucking
Jeff, bro. Come on.
I know, me too. Like, as far as like the editing goes, like sometimes I hate it when I have like 4 or 5 people on a pod because to edit is like fuck is a bitch. Right. But you're right, like it's kind of easier to get through the fucking time, whatever how many times you want to do, an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
with
easier.
4 or 5 people.
Sure.
Oh my god, so much easier shit.
Yeah, but then there's like a sweet spot because once you go past 4, like then it's kind of like, especially if you don't have headphones, people are talking over each other. People are like, you didn't hear this joke because someone had said something that was louder, you know, and then like. Or just like too many voices are on top of each other. Now it just sounds messy and shit like that. So it's like, unless y'all got headphones, you try to keep it at 4, you know, 4 or 5, you know, most.
Yeah, the headphones help out a lot. But I've noticed that too, where like, say I'm having a conversation with just regular people. Yeah. And there's like, let's say there's 2 conversations. I can't have my conversation unless everyone shuts the fuck up now.
Yeah. Like, you're going to hear this fucking joke, fool.
I am fucked now. Like,
I'll repeat a joke again and again until someone laughs. So I don't give a fuck.
That's crazy. Yeah. But like, what is some of the things that like, or what moment like during the podcast podcast, did you realize like, you know what, this podcast shit is for me? Like it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
I always enjoyed it. It was always fun. It was just fun because we were at a spot in our lives where all of my homies we were kind of just like, kind of separating a little bit because we were just like work, you know, come home or whatever, play video games or some shit, you know, and then go back to work or kick it with our girls if we had girls, you know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay, now we're having our own lives, our own chapters. Like we're not even really, we'll kick it, but it wasn't as much, you know. And then with the podcast, it was like, oh, cool, it was an excuse to kick with my homies, you know. And that's kind of how I saw it. I was like, it's an excuse to be with the homie, talk, you know, and then we're trying to make money off of this shit, and it's trying to be entertaining. So to me, like, it's always all the way up until this point, like, it's fun. It's still fun, you know. So I enjoy doing the podcast. I don't mind that when we do the podcast. Now sometimes there's conflicts with like when we're gonna do something or a business decision, but for the most part, like when I could say when I'm there, like I'm happy as fuck to be there with my friends. So I mean, that's all it is to me, and that's all it is to the audience. It's like I'm showing you guys what it is like to kick it and how we feel like when we're kicking it and shit, you know.
When you were like small or in school or whatever growing up, like have you always been like the outspoken like funny guy and shit? Like
I want to say I always tried. I wanted to say I always tried, but it was always fucking hard. Like in elementary school, I was like, it didn't, none of that mattered for as long as you were fast. Like as long as you were a fast runner, you were getting all the bitches. You were getting like all the.
I was like, fast at what?
Yeah, you were getting all the fucking the promotions and shit. You showed up every day. You got perfect attendance. But like I was that kid. I was low key a good kid. Yeah. I did sometimes some fucked up shit. And then middle school, I was like, damn, bro, like the bitches I like these kind of guys, fool. And I'm like, and I'm not that kind of guy. I wasn't really cholo and shit like that. And I wasn't like. I didn't have plugs in my ears or anything. Now I do. I'm up, bitch.
You weren't a bad boy?
Yeah. I wasn't like that. But so I was like, fuck it. I'll try to be as funny as I can because when you're in middle school, you're in this, like, you're weird. It's weird, because you got, like, these 8th graders that look like 30-year-old men. Yeah. And you got, like, these 6th graders and shit. And you're, like, you look like you're in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, fool. Like, I got to come up with something so I don't get my fucking ass beat, bro. That ass. And then that's when I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna be funny, like I guess as funny as I can be, you know. And one time I made a girl laugh. I was like, fuck yeah, bro, if I keep going like this, I'm gonna start a podcast one day. I'm gonna start
one day.
One day, bro. Since then I've been plotting, bro. And then I was just like, yeah. And since then, like, you know, it's weird because I don't think my homies see it the same way I do. My homies see it like I'm just funny, like, so like as themselves, like they're all like, oh, I'm just a funny person. You know, but I always kind of saw it like there's like a show in some way. Like there's a show.
Like a Truman show?
Yeah, like a show going on in my head, fool. It's like, and then it's like, there's the bit right there. Fucking say the bit. Yeah. All right, did I get a reaction from the bit? Like, all right, let me keep going. And then some shit won't miss, you know? I remember this one fucking cringy ass joke, bro. I fucking stay awake at night. Like we were talking about. This one time, bro, I was in class and this teacher, her name was, I forgot her name. She was an old bitch though. And she was like, all right, guys, get out your notebooks. We're going to do exercise, like something, right? I was like, exercise? And I stood up and I started doing jumping jacks. But nobody was laughing. Nobody was laughing. But I didn't stop doing the jumping jacks, fool. I did the jumping jacks for a minute straight because I was like, and I was low-key crying in my head, you know? And then some girl's like, is he crying? And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, I just kept doing jumping jacks, fool. And then I got tired. And then I sat down in class and I just stayed quiet over class, put my head down.
You're like, I gotta stay with the bit.
Yeah, bro. I was like, I need to fucking make these people laugh, fool. Fuck.
Can someone please laugh?
Just laugh. Somebody just give me some kind of chuckle, at least from still doing
an awkward laugh or something.
Yeah, nothing, full crickets. And that's the first time I bombed, and that shit lives in my fucking head, fool. But to me, like, that's how I always kind of saw the world, as kind of like a show. To me, like, I don't see myself a main character and on a bullshit like that.
Yeah, but comedic
like,
relief.
Yeah, like I'm definitely like I'm always trying to. Everything's always for the bit, and it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. I could say some gay shit. I like, oh yeah, I like sucking dick, fool. It's for the fucking bit. I don't give a fuck. Like that's what matters the most to me all the time. The bit over everything.
I was having, cause you know we had the East Timo guys on here, right?
Yeah.
And they're like real comedians, right? Like, oh, they do stand up and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then to me, it's like, funny, to me, like, I love comedy, but I don't think I have the balls, or I don't have the time and effort to go to fucking open mics and get good at it, because it's like a real profession, right? But this is kind of like a type of stand up comedy, but it's more like a sit down.
Yeah, I guess, and to some extent it is, you know, like it's just a different form, you know, like like I don't know, like it's just I guess a new form that's coming out. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. That's true.
It is. Like, you don't really have to leave your house to like go like do bits. And then it's also like, because every story, my podcast too, I would consider it like a comedy entertainment podcast. Yeah. Like we're trying to be funny, dog. Right. We're trying to entertain the people who are listening or watching and shit like that. We're not trying to like sit here and fucking preach or tell stories. Like we're trying to be funny.
Well, that's the thing is because it can get real easy to start sounding preachy without people knowing it. Fool. Yeah. Like it'd be like all of us like, yeah, bro, she needs to make my fucking eggs first thing in the fucking morning. And all of a sudden you're just on fucking, you know, and they're fucking like roasting the fuck out of you, you know? Yeah. You know, so it gets real fucking like easy to start, especially as a guy. And there's already a stereotype with guys with podcasts. It's like, yeah, dude, these guys, they think they're Sigma. Like, you know, Sigma balls, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
It's like that alpha, beta shit. But then they have one that's like Sigma. I don't know. It's stupid, you know? And, but for some reason, every fucking guy that usually, most of the part, has a podcast thinks that they're a Sigma guy or whatever the fuck. So, yeah, but I forgot what we were talking about. We were talking about doing the stand-up.
It's like a new form of comedy.
I would say so. I think the only thing is like, you don't know if that shit's working until the episode comes out and people are commenting about it. Yeah. Versus a stand-up is real time, you know?
It's like silent bombing.
Yeah, bro. You don't know you're bombing until you fucking, they're like, what the fuck did Dreamz just say? He's gonna fuck his grandma? Like, what the fuck, you know? And yeah, it's just, I would say that. Like, you're right, though. It is definitely a new form of comedy that's getting tapped into right now.
Would you ever be down to do actual, like, real stand-up?
You know what? I've talked to a lot of comedians. I've talked to Isimo about it. I've talked to Saul Trujillo. We just had that for one. And Richard Villa. And who's that other fool? Oh, fuck, I don't even want to say.
Alfredo Robles.
Oh, my God. Alfredo Robles was fucking hilarious, by the way. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But, and, like, I've asked them all, like, hey, how, like, I want to get in stand-up. And they're all like, well, just go do it. And I'm just like, fuck, I wanted like some more guidance, fool. Like, what the fuck?
Like a code I gotta unlock.
It was like you, like with driving, probably. They were just like, all right, here's the keys. Like, all right, for sure, fool. Like, thanks, fool. Like, for coaching me, you know? Yeah. But I get it though. Like that's actually how it has to be. Yeah. Like, you actually have to go and pursue that shit. And I've just been scared, fool. But I've wanted to do it. I've talked to them about it. I've told all my homies about it. My homies want to do it too. Like, we've all wanted to do it to some extent. But it's just like that first time getting on stage that it's just like, fuck. But I have a feeling if I get on stage, I know I'm going to like it. And I don't know if that's good or bad for me. Like, in the sense of like, can I concentrate on PLP and music and do this? You know? It's tough. Like, it's like, fuck, dude. And then, like, so it's scary as fuck, and that's why I'm fucking scared to do it, fool.
Yeah, because there's definitely like a thing about like the starving comic where like you go do these shows and they pay you like they pay you with a cheeseburger and a beer. Like, you're not really gonna be making money. Some fools probably like get lucky and make money right away, but most of the time you gotta go like on your off time and fucking learn the way of the comic and shit. And like sometimes it's kind of tough to have extra time already with a podcast, right? And fucking your job or whatever. Like it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah. No, it's tough as fuck. So I mean, it's already tough, Yeah. It is. I think about like just putting more on my plate is like, will that help me more or would it hurt me? And I won't know. Eventually, one of these days, I'm gonna just fucking do it. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm just gonna go up on stage. They're gonna clown me because they're gonna be like, "Why is your name Infinite Dreamz?" Like, say your fucking real name, fool. Yeah. And and then I'm gonna bomb and I'm gonna see what that feels like, and then just I'll make a decision. Am I gonna keep doing this or am I not gonna do it?
You're gonna go up as Infinite Dreamz?
Of course. Well, I have to, because it's just branding. It's just good branding. It was kind of like these people are gonna be like, what the fuck, like, who the fuck is this guy when they go try to listen to my music or vice versa? Like, who the fuck is this fool doing stand up? So just know me as Infinite Dreamz. That's it. Like,
Facts. Tell me more about your music.
It sucks. It's bad. It's the worst shit I've ever listened to or ever said in my life, honestly. I mean, I've been doing music since. That's the thing. I haven't been releasing music until like 2020. Okay. But I've always been rapping. I've always been fucking like in high school. In middle school, like 8th grade, up until like middle school and I'm in high school, and then outside of that, just rapping. But I never recorded a song. And then there are a couple times where I tried to record a song, but that shit sounded shitty because it's just in the homie's room. Right. There's like no sound treatment or anything like that, and so it's like a song can only get so good at that level. Right. And then I started going to the studios, and I was like, bro, I kept telling people like, oh yeah, like they'd ask me like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a rapper, fun. And they're like, oh yeah, like you got music? And I'm like, no. You know, yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people that are like that. I'm like, am I gonna just start being one of those people that they just don't have shit? So then I was like, nah, I have to start living up to this shit. Yeah. And so I started like looking up beats on YouTube, honestly, and just drawing inspiration from there. I just let a fucking like a playlist. I'd let a fucking playlist like just play like of beats, just everybody's beats. It'd be like Batman, or whatever the fuck like producer's tag's name is. Yeah. And it just like listen to whatever fucking beats that were going on, and then so I heard something that'd be like, oh yeah, I can make this into a song, you know. And then from there, went to the studio. I was actually working with my homie at his studio, and then I didn't like the way he mixed it, so I sent it to like to do it on Fiverr, and then he did it. But he was like these Indian guys, so he didn't really understand. So this shit was like kind of offbeat a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, the first time that I released music was in December of 2020.
And you released it like that, like a little bit offbeat?
Yeah. No, actually, I ended up being coaching this fool to try to fix it, you know, and letting him know. Because I'm real precise with times. Like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, precisely at 1:43 is when I start going. So it's like, so I had to like coach him. But it's just frustrating, fool, because his fool didn't understand me. He was like, I did what you say, you know, and I'm just like, no, you didn't. You didn't do what I said, you know, and so like, yeah, but my first project, it was called the Via Tapes. It was an EP, 4 songs, and that was kind of like an ode, because I used to live in a mobile home park, you know, and so that was kind of like an ode to the mobile home park, because there was a lot of like crazy shit. It's the ghetto, food. Like, it's like a bunch of shit that I would see. I was in an environment where shit was always happening. People were always getting arrested. Houses were always getting raided. Domestic violence, fucking disputes, like all the time. At some point or another, or for one reason or another, there's gonna be police cars in front of your house. Whether it's you or the neighbor or, you know, so and so. So it was like I just drew a lot of inspiration from that and shit. And I dropped my first 4 songs that revolved completely just around me living in the mobile home park. Well, and then there was like one song that was like about COVID. It's called 2021 No Kickbacks. But yeah, other than that, like that was my first project. And then from there, like I started getting too topical. Then I started doing too many topics. Like, oh, what if I did a song about people that did Nas, you know? And so I made a song about doing Nas, you know? And then, or what if I did like a Halloween one, you know?
Halloween song.
And I did a Halloween song. It's called Thoughtum. Yeah, go check it out. It's just trash. And now recently, I'm tapping into a new level of where like fuck that. I'm just gonna spit whatever shit I feel sounds fly as fuck, you know. And now I'm reaching a new level, you know. But yeah, it hasn't even been that long, if I'm being honest, releasing music. Once you start releasing music, it's like you start at zero, you know. And you're like, I have to relearn a bunch of shit, you know, and also learn new shit. So it's like you throw all that experience of when I started in 8th grade, you throw all that shit away, and you're just because now releasing music is a whole different type of art, you know?
Yeah, it says, and then it sucks because I've done music too before. Yeah. But like then you have to start like thinking about business. Because music is probably one of the most expensive like hobbies there is.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Even if you're just doing it for fun, that shit's expensive, dog.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'd probably spend like $250 on a beat. Yeah. And then like another $300 on fucking recording, mixing and mastering.
Yeah, mixing and mastering by itself. Like I have a homie that charges like $500 just to mix and master.
Yeah, and that's what one per song. Yeah. I went to a fucking studio like that. It was out there in Rancho, fool, and like these were like, how much is it to mix and master? They're like $500 to mix, and I was like, okay. And they're like, and then master's gonna be like another $250. And I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me, fool? Yeah. They don't even make this shit affordable. You know, it's like fucking ridiculous.
And then they're always complaining about how they don't have money and fools don't got, you know, like tap in. Like, no, bitch, your prices are crazy.
Yeah, bro. And that's why I gotta give props to the fucking like, for example, Rudy G, Sonny Babel out there in the IE and shit. Like those fools, like they fucking like they've always made it affordable as fuck for me to try to go and record to their shit, you know. And and I've never been like I've never charged for no feature. I've never charged like for anything. I've been like, yeah, you want a feature from me? Go ahead, just send me as long as it's dope. Or even if it's not, fuck it. At least I'll sound good. Fuck it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So I'm like, bro. Like I've never been the type to be like, oh, like give me money for this shit. Because the truth is, you don't make money off of music. Nobody makes money off of music. That doesn't exist. Those days don't exist no more.
Not even the major artists are making money. Like they make that, they get that first advance and it's over.
Ever since it went to streaming, no rapper has ever made money off of music.
If anything, it's kind of almost like when comedians do a podcast.
Right.
They do podcasts to sell out shows.
Right.
And you make your money off the show. Like
this is your promo.
Yeah.
The
music is also the promo. Like, go see me live at the Novo or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think when people get into it, they think they're gonna fucking drop Get Rich or Die Trying and tour the world and shit like that. But it's not really like that, dog.
No, it's not. And that, especially not in this day and age, you know. And like I said, short term content. Like, I can't think like I've been saying this for a minute. And it was hard as fuck to admit it, but there's no such thing as music anymore, fool. There's no such thing. Like, that shit's dead. Rap, like, that shit's dead. Like, it's like, how long does a song stick around anymore? Even if it's out and it gets popping and shit, like that one fucking song with the Pink Panthers and Ice Spice, right? What was it called? That Boy Is a Liar, right? That song was a bop and I liked it, fool, but it's only been 3 months since that shit dropped, and now I don't hear it anymore. Yeah. And it's like, why? Like that speaks to the short term like memory of like a lot of the people who listen to music. It's like, does the song exist anymore?
Is it even worth it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you go on the radio right now, you're gonna hear shit from like a year ago, you know, and it's not even, and it's like not even the shit that's popping, because now there's so many genres of music now. Like, it's like they don't focus on just one. Yeah. So now it's really even harder to make it on radio or anything like that, or for you to even have a long-lasting impression before you have to go and release a new fucking project or a song.
What I've noticed, because I like to study like all industries that I like, podcasting, music, all that shit. I love that shit. So I like to study it with, you know, like unnecessary hours on YouTube studying shit, right? And fucking what I've noticed on especially on radio is like, especially that song with The Weeknd. What song was it? Like, everywhere, any station, you would hear that fucking Weeknd song. Or you'll hear 21 Savage and Drake. Yeah. And then magically 2 months later, after you hear that shit, now they're on tour. Yeah. So like, also the record labels are paying like millions of dollars to all the radio stations across the country to play the same fucking song. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, guess what? They're on tour now. Like, oh, here's some free tickets. Yeah. And like, the song, it doesn't even have to be good or your favorite song, but you just hear it over and over again, that you're like, all right, I want to go see this shit live now.
Yeah. They really try. That's what they have to do now, though. That's what they have to do, because, like I said, like the lifespan of a song is not what it used to be. You know, before, I remember like in like they were showing up this old chart of the Billboard Top 10 back in like 2007. You know, and it was like Rihanna. It was like, please don't stop them. I remember hearing that shit for like 8 months nonstop. Everybody fucking loved it. No one had a problem with how many times this shit got played. But then, like, you know, something went on. I had to say it was streaming. Because
now it's on demand.
Yeah, it's an on-demand shit. You don't have to wait for that shit to be requested on the radio. You can just go listen to it whenever
you want.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you had to get on a fucking iPod, and that shit would have, like, BeatStar, like, fucking, you know, World Star Hip Hop. You know, every single time Lil Wayne was like, West Canton is like, Lil Wayne music. And it's just like, great. The Get Lit podcast.
You know what I'm saying? Or it would, like, burn your computer, like, the risk of having that shit. But, like...
Yeah, that's all of a sudden my fucking computer has HIV and shit. And this was on his last breath. Like, fuck. And it's like, my mom be like, what'd you do? And she didn't believe me when I was saying it was music. It'd be like, you're watching fucking porn or some shit, you know? And
I was doing both.
Yeah, I was, but I wasn't going to tell her. How are the porn sites more fucking safe? How are they more safe to be on than fucking LimeWire? That makes no fucking sense. It doesn't. Yeah, but to my point, I was saying lifespan of a song is different now, so that's why I don't even. I have the homie Lalos. He always asks me like, "Bro, drop an EP," and I'm like, "For what? For if people can listen to it for like a month or so, and then after that they're not gonna be listening to it. I'd rather just drop a single and then just get whatever feature I can for a single. Plan a couple months to 2 months to 2 months to 2 months. You know? Yeah. So that's how I've been doing music lately, and I have yet to perform live. I've wanted to perform live. I probably am like soon. I'll probably try to talk to the homies, because we now try to do the scene in the IE is like really connected. It's like real brotherly and shit. Like, it's like we're trying to build like kind of like the Atlanta way of like how people do hip hop over there, like business and shit. We're trying to do that over there in the IE, you know, and it's starting to get more successful and shit. Like, you know, there's a lot of people out there that's coming out, and we are all supportive of each other and shit, you know. Like, before in the past, it wasn't. It was like, who's gonna make it out the IE first, you know? And it's like, now that doesn't matter. Now it's like, we're just gonna try to build like relationships and come together. Everybody shout out everybody's shit, so we can try to get popping and shit. Because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. We will all make it if we all put in the same amount of work, you know. Mm-hmm. And if you just choose to stop me doing music, then that's on you at that point, you know. So yeah, that's how it's been going, and we're trying to build that shit out there in the IE.
Have you noticed like the difference in like how like I don't know what it is, but like more Mexicans are starting like to come up more now than before?
Yeah, bro.
What do you think it is?
Honestly, Latinas with big fat asses.
They put us on?
Yes, bro. I'll be honest. The only reason Bad Bunny's... I don't want to say the only reason Bad Bunny... That's a fucking crazy-ass statement.
Take.
Nah. Yeah, but let's be honest. Like, whatever the bitches are listening to, the guys are going to be listening to, too, you know? So if the girls are listening to Bad Bunny, then, you know, you can expect motherfuckers to be dancing to Bad Bunny.
Or at least give it a try.
Right. And so I feel like that's been, like... that's been part of it. For the most part, it's funny. We were just talking about this on the last podcast, and we talked about how attractive now it looks, because before it was like fools wearing like fucking cowboy hats and boots, and they were talking about how they were in love, or they're talking about like fucking some shit that happened in the rancho and shit. And now you have people like Eslabon Armado, you have Fuerza, you had Arsenal Efectivo, like all these fools that are doing it now, and they're just like you and me. Mm-hmm. You know, now it's like
streetwear.
There's a relation there where it's like, oh, that's cool as fuck, because you don't have to be dressed up in fucking botas and shit like you're gonna go to a rodeo and fucking to listen to some corridos, because that's what it felt like, you know, like it would feel like that's how it is. And now it's like, now these fools are wearing fucking sneakers, joggers, and a cap, you know, and a chain, you know, and it's like, okay, cool. So now it's like, it's way more relatable in that sense. And now that you got the Mexican Americans on your side, then it's like when shit's like that starts popping, you already know that shit's been popping like in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like the appeal to it has been, now it's being more hip hop central of that, you know?
Well, I think too, a lot of people call it hip hop, but to me it's like it's Americanized.
Yeah.
Because hip hop culture, to me, sometimes people like straight up say like, oh, it's black culture, or like it's African American culture, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe it is, maybe it's not, depending who you ask. But to me, it's American culture, because the way I dress, the way I've been growing up, like I love hip hop.
Yeah.
But when I go to Mexico, or like if I even have cousins or uncles that are from here, but they're like, damn fool, like, why are you dressed like that? Like, we're Mexican. I'm like, I'm Mexican blood, but I was born and raised here. Like, I'm more American.
Chicano, like,
yeah, exactly. You know,
I don't like to say Mexican. I like to say Chicano, because like that's how they see us, regardless. You know, and they talk a lot of shit, the no sabo shit. You know, I'm like, fuck you guys. You guys are in ELD.
You don't speak Spanish?
I speak Spanish, but like it's in like small bursts. I have to really think about what I'm gonna say before I fucking say it, you know? Because if not, it's gonna come out like I'm gonna sound like Johnny. I'm just be stuttering all the time.
Fucking your mom speaks Spanish?
Yeah, she speaks really good Spanish too.
But she like talked to you in Spanish and you respond in English?
I would speak in English. My grandparents would speak in Spanish, and then they'd stay with us here and there, but they wouldn't, like, they didn't live with us.
I was the same way, but like one time there's a city right here called HP Huntington Park, and it's like super, like, they call it like Paisa Town.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks Spanish. A lot of old people live there. And I worked there for like maybe 3 years, and I had to like brush up on my Spanish. But my first week there, dog, I was stuttering, dog.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why if I have to have like a full conversation in Spanish, I could now. But that was only like 4 or 5 years ago.
It was the 99-cent store. I used to work at the 99-cent store, like fresh out of high school.
Okay.
That's where I learned like more proper way, at least, of speaking and shit. Because I would say like, they'd ask me questions and I'd be like, oh, see, oh, ¿a poco no? Like, I would say just fucking anything, fool. Just try to dead this conversation, you know?
Yeah.
Because in the morning, I was fast as fuck. I was a hard worker at the night, which is like stupid as fuck. You shouldn't be a hard worker at a minimum wage job, if we're being honest. But I was a fast ass worker, bro. I was hard working as fuck. The manager liked me. For the most part, he only like 90% Spanish, and he spoke English here in bits.
Yeah.
And that fool liked me. He was like, you fucking work hard, you work fast, so like I'm gonna put you in the morning with all the fucking beaners. Yeah. So that's what he did. He put me up there, and I'm like talking. I'm trying to like have a conversation with like Maria number 3, like about like, oh, like where is this supposed to go? And shit, like, oh, en el número 6 or whatever the fuck, you know. And it's like I put it there, and they're like, no, hijo, no, a poco no. Yeah. Like, and they make you feel real bad for not understanding this shit. And I'll be like, oh, where's it supposed to go? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what the fuck you came mad at me for, dog? It's like, just dish soap. We're in America. It's just dish soap.
Now you sound racist and shit. Now you're like, bitch, like this.
Well, fucking learn this language. Huh? You're fucking here in America now, bitch.
Now you're like, damn, this is why fucking Farmer John be talking shit.
I get it. Low key. I was like, bro. But then after like getting to know these ladies and like brushing up on that shit, and then I was just like, okay, cool. Like I started learning more of like more proper like
It's just it's like a rhythm of like, and then also they come from different states, so they all have different slang.
Yeah.
And then you gotta learn each one. Or she likes to be talking like this. It's just like
she talks fast or she talks slow. Like there was this bitch that worked in aisle 9, and that bitch spoke like she was like doing like the horse races or something. Like, and I was like, is this even Spanish? Is this Chinese? What the fuck is this? Because and then I would only understand like the last like 4 or 5 words, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna wing it, you know. And then or I just like there was one time where they were talking to me and they're speaking fast as fuck, and they were like, okay, vas a poner Dreamz. I was like, they didn't call me Dreamz, but they called me my name. But they were like, hey, like, vas a poner esto aquí? And I'm like, all right, for sure. And then I had forgot already by the time I got there, and I was like, I'm gonna get carts. And I just fucking did carts the whole time, and they were looking for me, and they were like, where'd you go? And I was like, oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm lost. I just give up. Yeah.
Fucking, one of my first times too, like I was working with an old couple. They must have been in their 70s, dog.
Yeah.
But like I was stuttering and I started sweating. Like when I get nervous, I get super red. Yeah. I started sweating. I'm bald, so my hair's not catching shit. Just the water coming down my face.
Always perspiring, fool.
Crazy, right? Yeah. Hella. And then the guy's like, hey man. In Spanish, he's like, oh, like, no te preocupes, mijo. I have a son just like you, and he's bad at Spanish. Like, don't worry, take your time. Like, you go practice with me. Yeah. And if you say something in English,
he fucks you. He's just like, yeah. Like, you didn't know what you were talking about. Like, he's like, yeah. All right, put in my ass, fuck it.
So he's all like, don't worry, I have a son like you, so take your time. And I know English too, so if you have to say it in English, I'll understand you. Yeah. And that made me feel so much more comfortable, dog. Because after then, I'm like, oh, these people like. They're not making fun of me because I used to get really nervous speaking to like people who only speak Spanish in Spanish, knowing that my Spanish is not that good. Right. Which I'm sure that they feel the same way. Like they're trying to speak their broken English with someone who like knows English. They probably feel like bad. I'm like, nah, don't trip. Like,
but the difference is I don't make fun of as us, we know that that's our parents. Yeah. So we never make fun of those people for speaking broken English.
Yeah, we respect
But they speak like foul on us for knowing like broken Spanish, bro. Yeah. I'm like, this is not even exchange.
It's not.
Like, fuck you. Next time you ask me to translate this document, you're getting deported. I don't give a fuck no more.
Come get me.
Yeah, pick me up. She said in a bomb threat too. That's what she said. But but back to what you were saying, honestly, about the whole like how you call hip hop American culture. Like, it's American culture, but don't let them tell you that Mexicans aren't a part of hip hop. Like, it's not there. Like, when people say, oh, hip hop is black culture, it's not. It's street culture. And Mexicans have always been there. Always, since the beginning. They weren't probably the leaders of the MC group of, like, people that were, like, you know, like what was that shit called? The Fab Five or whatever? Mm-hmm. You know, like, that were talking, like the... You know, where they're just speaking bullshit like,
well, I think people...
And you got red shoes on over there. Tell me if I give a fuck.
Like, come on, those are not even real words.
Yeah, and it was like, maybe we weren't doing that. Mexicans weren't doing that because we didn't understand. We were like, ¿a poco que quieres que carritos, por favor? You know, like, it would, you know, but we were there since the beginning, but we weren't. Everybody forgets the four food groups. Wild. Everybody, dairy. No, like the four pillars of hip hop. They're MCing, DJing, graffiti, and breakdancing. Mm-hmm. And we've been there for all 3 of those except for MCing. Yeah. You know, so I don't like when fucking people say like, nah, that shit is black culture. Like, no, predominantly, yes, you guys have historically have done that, but Mexicans and being specific Mexicans, but also Latinos in general, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubanos, like we've always been there at hip hop. And honestly, ever since then, we've always been moving with them, but linearly, like and sometimes intertwining, and sometimes just sometimes on the exact same path, and sometimes intertwining, and then sometimes linearly with it and doing our own thing with it, you know? And so like, I don't like when people say that. I don't like when people like this is so-and-so's culture, and it's like, no, like that's part of our culture too. Like, we've helped build it, you know? Just because we didn't speak up on it. But there was a lot of Mexican or Puerto Rican, Latino breakdancers and graffiti artists. So how are you gonna say we weren't there and we didn't help build this shit either? You know? Yeah. Like, it's our culture too. Like, but and then that's what I think people are seeing now in hip hop. What Chicano's like, you know, is that we're starting to come up in this shit too, because now we're what's popping now, you know?
And I think it's a mistake on their part trying to push us out. Because anytime you push a Mexican now, the Mexican's gonna make it their own, and you're gonna be jealous about it, dog. Yeah. Like now you're alienating one of your biggest fan bases. Like, Mexican, Mexican people, especially people our age, and maybe not our parents, but we waste a lot of our money on American culture stuff, clothes, caps, the way we dress, music, right? Concerts and shit, going to party. And if you want to alienate us and tell us that we're not a part of this type of music because we're a different color, right? That's gonna be your biggest mistake. It will be your downfall because now you're forcing us to do our own shit.
Also, just
and we're gonna do it.
Just stop and look around. You feel like if you're like out here, fool. Like if you go to LA right now, fool, it's a bunch of Mexicans kicking in with black people and shit, and it's like we're all literally together in one spot. You're gonna tell me that I can't do this music because it's not my music to do. Because you've been doing it historically for this way for a long time. Like that makes no fucking sense.
And then intertwine, like you were saying, like in the hip hop culture is like fight the power and like fight the powers that be. Don't listen to like the man.
Yeah, because now
you're being the man.
That shit affects us, bro. That shit affects us just as much as it affects black culture. Like it affects on a spectrum. I think people don't realize like this shit was never racism. It's always been classism. Yeah, it's always been classism. It's always, now they put things on it and labels on things so that way they can segment it and be like, we belong here, we're rich, and you're fucking poor. But that's all anything really is classism. That's why we try to wear expensive clothes and shit like that. When in hip hop, like we don't have it like that, but we go and try to fucking buy, designer shit because it's a stamp that says now your racism can't affect me anymore. Now I'm part of you in a way, and that's why also the people that are up there don't really like it when people down here are wearing Versace or Gucci, because they're like, fuck, dude, that's not part of the rich culture anymore. Now they're trying to make it not be that, And then people say it's racism, and it's like, no. Now it's like all it is classism. It's really who's here at the bottom in the trenches and who's up there in the fucking castles. That's all it is.
Who are some of the people that you grew up listening to?
Everything, every single thing. My mom listened to all kinds of music. She would listen to like reggae. She'd listen to rock. She'd listen to rock en español, corridos, hip hop. Honestly, every single thing that country, like every single thing, every single genre I could imagine, she put in front of us because my mom absolutely loves music. Like every single day we were bumping some shit in the car. Every single day. I remember like we'd fucking like on Saturdays and Sundays the shit would be cleaning. It'd be all kinds of music. It wouldn't just be Spanish music. It'd be like, oh, she's bumping country or some bullshit, Mm-hmm. So I've always grown up in like a household that was always promoting music as a whole. My favorite genre of music is good music. That's all it is. There's no fucking I love hip hop. More like I'm a hip hop fan. Like mostly but my favorite genre of music is good music.
And I think too, like hip hop it's not like someone invented hip hop. Hip hop has always been a blend of different type of music put together. Yeah. It started with the DJ. Two songs blended together. Yeah. It's not like this original thing. Like it's always been a blend.
And it was sampled from like funk or it was sampled
you pick
from classical music.
Yeah, you pick the best songs from funk or classical and then you make it hip hop, Yeah. Which is
so that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing too. If you're a fan of hip hop, you're a fan of every other music in the world. So, but specifically people that I were listening to, like, on my own, mm-hmm. My favorite rapper ever, and this is going to surprise a lot of people, but it was The Game.
Oh, me too.
It was The Game. I loved that fool because it was like, that fool is just, for one, he was the only one when everything was dead, like the whole West Coast, East Coast shit, it was dead, but since we didn't have the internet, it was still segmented that way, And that fool was the only one that was carrying the West Coast for the longest time. Not aside from the legends, obviously, that were still doing music here and there. Right. But him in his prime, he was carrying that shit and taking it to different levels by himself and putting a lot of people from California on.
I agree. Like, I know when people like say like, NWA, Dr. Dre and shit, Snoop Dogg, when that happened, I was like 4, 5, 6. So I respect it. I love the music, Tupac, but I was so small that I don't really remember like the whole the feeling of being alive in that moment. Yeah. To me, The Game, I was like 11 or 12, and you see him dropping shoes, going on tour, being the headliner for Power 106 Powerhouse, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And like just the
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, and then like creating on this whole movement, Stop Snitching, and mixtapes, and like being part of culture, like or like being involved and being in love with hip hop at that time back then. It was a feeling that you can't really describe. So me too. Like the game and Drake are my two favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah, and it was like he had a chip on his shoulder. Yeah. Because you know that whole shit that happened with G Unit and shit. And so I love that. I've always loved rapper. What is hip hop? It's fucking fighting against the system, right? And to me, that's what it felt like when Game was going up against G Unit. You know, like you're getting blackballed. Dre's not giving you beats anymore. G Unit, 50 Cent, they're the most popping like artists in the fucking world at the moment. And you're this guy who said fuck these fools because this and that, you know. And then he's like, and still being successful in it, you know. But saying like and dropping like fucking a song like 26 minutes just dissing these fools, you know.
Bro, 300 bars and running.
Yeah, 300 bars and running, and it's like and dedicating mixtapes to just dissing these fools, you know, like you know what it is, those shits. And it was like you're fighting something, you know, like you're fighting against something now. Now afterwards, I don't know, I can't really speak to what Game was doing afterwards, but those first 3 albums, Documentary, The Doctor's Advocate, and LAX, are by far my favorite albums of all time.
Damn, those are good albums.
They're a classic 3. They're a classic trilogy, but I think it gets looked over a lot, especially The Doctor's Advocate. That one gets looked over the most, and that one I think is the most important one, because it's when he's trying to like kind of make amends with Dr. Dre already. He's already saying like, I feel bad that I even had to do all this beef shit. You know, it's kind of like already when the G Unit shit was dying, and it was just like it's more sensitive side to Game, but more like let me show you about me, you know. So I was like, that was my favorite rapper growing up was Game, and I think it'll always be, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
for the same reasons too, like just going up against like, oh, you're part of this crew, whatever. Now you're against it, like the whole like, and then being able to survive, and win and shit.
Because he got blackballed a lot, Phil. He got blackballed a lot. Like people were not working with Game, because of that. And not only because they didn't want beef, and I wouldn't blame them, because why would the fuck would you want to be? Now you're blackballed by the biggest producer at the time, and then the biggest group, you know, in New York where all this shit started. So it's like, yeah, you don't want to deal with that shit. But that's why I gave also Kanye a lot of his shit too, his flowers, because he's the one who reached out to that food, to the Game, and it was like, he was like, hey, like, yeah, here's these beats that I have, being on features, like, wouldn't get far. Yeah. You know, and it was just like, that's dope as fuck for Kanye to do. And that's why I like Kanye to an extent up until recently. But that's why I liked him too, because he's always been like that too. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I want to work with you if you're great, you know?
I think the whole fucking Kanye thing was him getting out of Adidas was all part of his plan, dog.
You think so?
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah,
because there has to be things in the clause, like if this was insane, he's off his meds, like the whole deal's off.
Yeah.
I think he's that smart. Maybe people don't think he's that smart. I think he is.
I think he's that smart, but I here's what I will say, bro, is he's always seeked like white validation. That's the only problem I could say. It's like you want to come to people when you say, oh, like, nah, like you guys are like broke as fuck, but then they don't let you have a meeting with Gap or whatever, and then you're like, see how they treat us, like, you know. And it's like, now you can't pick now you can't pick and choose when you want to be a part of like the rest of the citizens, you know. And then afterwards, you know, like I want to be validated by these white people. It's like that's the only problem I've ever had with that, you know.
Who's your team and why?
Baltimore Ravens, ever since 2001 when they first won that Super Bowl. And cause fuck the Steelers, that's fucking why, bitch.
Bro, I always make fun of people that pick teams after a Super Bowl win. Yeah. But at least I'm glad that you admit it. It was because.
Yeah, it was because. But I was little. I was like 5, you know, and I was just like, oh, these fools, they won, they must be the best, you know. Yeah. And you know they were, but I mean after that it was a long time of nothing, bro. Yeah. Like 10 years until we won again. But honestly, it's because fuck the Steelers and my fucking. My family members, that was my way of fucking bucking the system, bro. I was like, fuck you guys, bro. They either are all Cowboy fans or they're all Steelers fans. There's like one or two here that were like, oh, they're Raider fans, or they're like a random ass. I have an uncle that's a random ass like Washington. He was a Washington Redskins fan. Like, it's like, okay, whatever. But it was mostly Cowboy and Steelers, and I'm like, you guys are fucking followers. What the fuck? Like, you guys, it's only because of that fucking back and forth they had like during the 90s or the 80s or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And it was like after that, it was like, man, you guys fell off so fucking hard. I was like, especially the Steelers, and they don't get enough shit. They don't fucking get enough shit, bro, and I'm fucking sick of it. They don't. there's a lot of fucking Steeler fans that you guys are pieces of shit too. I respect y'all, but y'all are pieces of shit.
They suck, dude.
And they suck now. And then where are y'all? Y'all ain't loud anymore. So what the fuck? And I always like I've loved Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. You know, even though Ed Reed wasn't on that Super Bowl run, but literally the year after, what are the odds we get Ed Reed? And then it's just like I like the way that they were just classy, fool. Like they were like nah, we're gonna fuck you guys up, like, but thank you, yeah, but thank you, you know, we're gonna fuck you up, but thank you, you know. And then I just thought that shit was a fly, and on top of that, it was a new franchise. You know, it was in 1996. I was born in 1996. I didn't miss much of the history of the team.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that either. I wouldn't want to go onto the Cowboys like who was the quarterback for so and so in 1985. I was like, I wouldn't fucking know. You know. Versus now, it's like I don't have much to catch up on. I only had him until 96. You know, so I like that a lot. You know, and also like it felt like it was meant to be. I love the color purple. You know, it's one of my favorite colors. And then it was 1996. It was fucking the year I was born. I was like, it just kind of all lined up for me. And on top of that, fuck the Steelers. And again, fuck the Steelers. Yeah.
To me, like being a Raider fan, you know, like, cause growing up, I was a Bret Farve fan, and I was so my mom's like, oh,
Green Bay, and then
she's all like, oh, you like the Green Bay Packers when you were little. I'm like, no, I like Bret Farve. I thought Bret Farve was badass.
Yeah.
And then I like Michael Vick and shit too.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I had to pick a team. I like. When I was like 10, 11, like I gotta pick a team, dog. You know, because football's not really a sport in my family. We're a baseball family, you know.
Oh, okay.
My dad doesn't even watch football. He doesn't even know what a first down is, you know. So I'm like, I gotta pick a team, and then I started looking at the history, like the first Mexican American quarterback, the first Mexican American coach. We're in LA. We won a Super Bowl in LA. Yeah. And then like the colors are just badass.
Right.
What the shield represents and shit like that.
It all makes sense.
Not give a fuck about shit. I'm like that. I feel like personality wise, it has like I leaned into it. So I've been a Raider fan since I was 12. Yeah. But that was like 2002 when we got our ass kicked by the Buccaneers and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I just been the worst fucking, the worst type of like, what is it called? Like history as a fan has been my Raider fan, dog. We fucking suck, dude.
Yeah.
If we get like 9 or 7 wins, like, that was a good season, dog.
We might make it to the fucking, the wild card, you know? So yeah, no, but I get that, fool, because it's like, fuck, you know, it's about being with your team when they're bad too. It's not just when they're good, you know. Like I think that's what classifies. Like if you're only a fan of Golden State, like for example basketball, you're only a fan of Golden State because of that fucking run. It's like you're fucking bandwagon. Yeah, bandwagon. And now you're like quiet as fuck. I never hear you at the Golden State games or anything like that. Then you're fucking bandwagon. But if you've been rocking with the losses, you've been rocking with the heartache, the fucking injuries, you're just like fuck, like that is like, to me, that's what makes you a fucking true fan of your fucking team, you know?
Are they playing against the Rams or the Chargers this year?
We're playing the Chargers. No, we're playing the Rams too, but we're playing the Rams in Baltimore.
Okay.
And then the Chargers we're playing here at SoFi, so I'm going to go to SoFi. I'm excited as fuck.
Did you already see how much tickets are and shit?
We already got the tickets. I didn't fucking look at the price. I just fucking got the fucking... I put my credit card on.
Take my money.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever. Afterpay.
Where are you going to sit at?
Yeah. I don't even know. Right at the floor level of not crazy. Not at the field. But like
when you walk in,
when you walk in, and because you know how it goes underground.
It's the second or third one.
Yeah, it's like 300.
It's sick. It's like 6 stories down, dude.
Yeah.
The fucking stadium's sick. You never been there?
No, never in my life.
I hate the fact that it's so nice, dog. It's probably the nicest. Nice? It's fucking the nicest field of ever.
But now shit's more expensive, huh?
Ever created of history. Well, yeah, and then like the parking situation, getting out of there is like 10 times worse than Dodger Stadium.
What the fuck?
It's
really?
fucking bad, dude.
I'm just gonna sleep there.
It takes like 3 hours to get out of there, and then you're on the street, and then you're still stuck. It's bad, dog.
Are Charger fans as bad as? No disrespect to y'all, but are they as bad as Raider fans?
No, they're nice.
They're nice. They're pussies.
They're really nice.
I'm gonna throw a fucking beer can at them. Fuck them, dog.
It just depends on which ones they are, you know. Because I don't think they don't have that many Cholo fans. Like the Charger fans are like Angel fans. They're like white, Asian people.
Yes, well, because San Diego, huh? I used to be the San Diego Chargers.
It's a different type of like fan base. But when I've been to every Chargers Raider game because they play each other a lot.
Yeah,
and it's they get punked out. We punk up and shit. Like we're bullying them. We're losing. We're gonna lose anyway, and we still punk the shit out of them.
Is the fan base split now because of the Rams though? Now here in LA,
what do you mean?
Is there like a lot of Cholo fans that are Rams fans?
You know what it is? A lot of the Cowboy fans and like other cities and state fans became Rams fans.
Yeah,
but I feel like every Raider fan stayed Raider fans.
I'll never respect the Rams, bro. I'll never. Like, you just fucking left for like St. Louis. You were here for like a cool minute, and then you left to St. Louis, and then you came back, and it was like, you just a fucking toxic ass fucking hyena. If I'm being for real with you.
I know people say that about the Raiders too, but like I don't know. I feel like
Raiders fans have always been everywhere though. That's the thing I could say. There was never Rams fans everywhere.
Well, it was the first nation fan base. Like the Raider Nation was first. Yeah. Everyone calls themselves a nation now, but the Raiders always traveled really good.
Yeah, and to be honest, they weren't always in the best cities. Like they weren't. Like they were in they were in ghettos, fool. Like they were in Oakland and Coliseum. Then in the Coliseum, and then now in Vegas. And if we're being honest, that's kind of all the same type of people. If we're being honest, it's the same fan base, fool. It's just like we're just like. It's like if you like the fucking Marisco spot and they move the Marisco spot to over there and you go, it's the same people that went to that one. They're still all gonna go to the same place, you know. Like
that's a good analogy. Like Mariscos, the best Marisco spots are all in the ghetto.
Yeah, and it's like, and if that place moved to over there, like a few streets down, you would still go there. Yeah. You know, so it's like it's the same fucking people that would go. So
I haven't been to a Raider game in Vegas yet. I went to Oakland. Oh my god,
I heard that stadium's beautiful. I went here.
I heard it's nice too. But it kind of feels like the other teams that play there, it's more enticing for them to go watch a Raider game there because usually more of the opposite team go, and you're in Vegas.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? I forgot we're in LA.
Yeah. Well, welcome to LA, dog. Welcome to Southgate. But like it's kind of like one of those things where like the other team is paying for our new players in the offseason.
Yeah.
Because they come and spend money or whatever and shit like that. But the stadium looks super nice.
Right.
But I definitely want to check it out. But SoFi, you're gonna have a good time. SoFi, make sure like when you're tailgating, and they say, oh, the gates are open, everyone rushes to the gates, and then you gotta wait an hour to get in, and you're like right in front of the gate, and it just takes forever to get in. So just stay in the fucking parking lot till like 5 minutes before kickoff, dog.
Really?
Just kick it, dog. Because I always do that. I get excited. You're drunk. You're failing. Oh, let's go.
Let's fucking go right now. I fucking fight that fool right now, dog. What the fuck? I fucking fight that fool. Fuck Justin Herbert, fool.
And then
That's not even my favorite ice cream, fool.
You're in line and shit. You're like, damn, I want another beer.
Yeah.
Like, damn. And then you're just fucking sitting there, dog, not doing stupid shit. Like, you know, I hate that shit. So that'll be my only recommendation. But you're gonna have a good time, dog. Yeah. The food there sucks, but the beer's cool.
What stadium food? Like, can we talk about that? I know you're a Dodger fan, right?
Yeah.
So can we talk about how overrated those fucking Dodger dogs are?
They're not the same no more.
Are they? Or is that just it? Because they're just not the same?
Well, it used to be Farmer John, and Farmer John doesn't make them anymore.
That food died or what?
Well, they sold it. Farmer John. The only reason I know this is because where I used to.
He has glaucoma, fool. He doesn't make them the same anymore, fool.
Which is funny because right when that little eye doctor I used to work at with all the Mexican patients, all my customers used to be the factory workers from there. So they would give us a cheeseman, and then they sold that company like 4 times, and now it's owned by a Chinese company. So, and they lost the contract with the Dodgers, so they're making this other new off-brand shit. And just like any other company, dog, they're trying to fucking make more profit and cheap their way out.
Yeah, diluting the product though.
Yeah, Dodger dogs suck now, dog.
But they have to start selling Coke at Dodger games, bro.
Coke bags?
Yeah, bro, you got to. That's the only way. Look, I feel honestly there'd be less fights and less traffic in Dodger Stadium if they sold fucking Coke. You know, just fucking make it legal already. That's another thing too. Make Coke legal in the fucking first place. But if I did a fat fucking linea at the fucking bar, fool, I wouldn't. I'd be like, all right, I'm sober. I'm sober. I can make it home. You know, it's kind of like you want to have me get a DUI, bro. Because every time I go to Dodger Stadium, I get drunk. Every single time I get fucked up, you know, and then it's like, oh no, it's because we're elevation, you know, we're high. We're not even that high. I'm just drunk as fuck. Yeah. And then you're just eating those nasty ass hot dogs and the nachos, and I'm just like,
when's the last time you went?
It was last year. Oh, so
summer. You've been to when they had that new shit in the outfield, all the new food.
Yeah.
Shake Shack and all that bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't like all that bullshit. Like, get that shit on my way, like, cause then everybody packs that area, and then nobody can fucking walk through. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like that. It's just fucking like, and I'll be honest, I'm a new Dodger fan.
Okay.
I never really cared for baseball, but then afterwards, like, my girl, her dad is a Chicago Cubs fan.
Okay.
So, and then my family is Dodger fans. So I was like, look, whoever takes me to a fucking game first, buys my ticket, buys me a beer, then that's who I'm gonna be a fan of, you know. And then so it was a race, fool, and they won my heart, and I was like, all right, cool, the Dodgers. I'm gonna be a Dodgers fan now.
Yeah, I love the Dodger stadium experience. It's one of my favorite experiences, just because it's like I've been a Dodger fan since I was a little kid, right? Yeah. So to me, it's badass. The new things about the park where they changed it is like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like gentrification of the park, but it's also like that is one of the oldest stadiums in the world. Like, it needed some new shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just pissed off about the beer prices, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog.
Are they up that much?
It's like $20 now a can, a tall can.
Ever since COVID, fool. Ever since COVID, all this fucking beer fucking prices. That's what I'm saying, bro. Línea.
You give me a free sack every time I buy a beer.
Yeah, bro. You give me an 8-ball for every 12 beers I buy. You know, and it's I'm gonna buy 12 beers. So if I had a fucking fat sack of Coke and shit right next to me, and I could just snort it off some fool's bald head. While I'm waiting, I'm breaking it up and shit. Like, hold on, don't move.
Yeah, he's sitting in front of you with the LA tattoo.
Yeah. Hold on, right on the LA, the tattoo.
Gives you a line.
Yeah.
Right there. Put on the line, fat line.
Yeah.
The powder shading on his tattoo right there.
Yeah. Or heroin, something. Fuck. Yeah. But yeah, I think we need to start selling fucking coca in these fucking stadiums in general, bro.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think don't they make coke out of like coffee leaves?
Yeah, the cocoa leaves.
Isn't the same thing?
But coffee don't hit your system fast enough. And you gotta take a shit after coffee. Well, you have to take a shit after Coke too, actually. But I'd prefer that.
It's crazy. Like it's like the same thing, but just it's ingested differently. Like I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing.
Can you imagine if you put like fucking coffee beans up your nose? You're just trying to breathe that shit. You fucking die and shit.
That shit will suck, dog.
Yeah.
What about Lakers? Are you a Laker fan?
Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan my whole life. But that's because my uncles, that's the one thing, for like in basketball, everybody can always say Lakers.
Yeah.
In baseball, it's where it's like, oh no, like I'm a Padres fan or I'm a Angels fan, you know. But let's be honest, no one likes the Clippers. I don't know. You like the Clippers?
No.
Yeah, fuck the Clippers. Win a fucking ring first, and championships. I mean, it wasn't hard when you had the fucking best basketball player in the world that ever played, Kobe. You know, so it wasn't hard to be a Laker fan, you know, and out there, like, it doesn't matter if anybody's a Steeler, Cowboys fan, everyone's a Laker fan. So everyone likes the Lakers. It's not difficult to be a Lakers fan.
What do you consider the IE?
The IE, it cuts off right after Pamona. But low key, I want to send this message to all the Pamonians out there. Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know, fool. But we're gonna adopt you, fools. Low key, we're gonna adopt the Pamonians
because they're still considered LA technically.
Yes, but they're like on the outside looking in, and they want to be their own thing. And I feel like they don't get that love sometimes. So like, sugar free.
Pomona's like 35 minutes from here.
Yeah,
and I'm 5 minutes from downtown or 10 minutes, and I'm not considered LA.
Oh, really? Yeah. They don't consider you LA?
Well, we're not.
See, you guys are the IE of LA.
The border towns right here. This is Watts, it's South Central, and Compton, right? And we're like the border. We're one of the border cities, Linwood and Southgate. Yeah. And like, oh, you're from Southgate, fool. You're not even from LA. Like,
yeah,
bitch.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's LA though, region, right? County, right? So the region is LA, and Pomona is a part of that, but they're so far. Like, bro, if I can get to the county fair eating a fucking turkey leg like in 40 minutes, I don't think you're from LA. So shout out to them, fool. If you guys want to come, you guys want to be part of the IE, just put in your petition and shit. We'll fucking sign that shit, because you guys are IE to me.
I think if they were to do that, like, they would automatically be high ranking IE, you know?
Yeah,
because like,
you'd be top 10. You know, you'd be top 3 if I'm being honest.
Exactly.
Top 3
instead
cities.
of being like bottom 3 LA, you'd automatically go to top 3.
Yeah, you're
IE.
up there now, fool. Now we got sugar free. Now what?
Now we're popping.
Yeah, now we got fucking a sex trafficking ring, I guess. I fucking know. But yeah, but I this is gonna be controversial because you're from LA, but I don't know. But that's why I don't wear LA hats.
Oh, okay.
I don't wear LA hats because of that. I'll wear a Dodger hat, but it has to be the D. Or
say Dodgers.
Yeah, or say Dodgers. Or if I'm wearing, I could wear Lakers, obviously, because it says Lakers. But I don't like wearing Dodger hats because I feel like we don't get that respect from. We love LA. We love LA. The IE loves LA, but we don't feel like that feeling is there for us. Like, they don't love us. So it's kind of like, until you guys give us that respect, not that anybody gives a fuck if I wear one or not. Yeah. But until then, I'm not gonna rock an LA hat until we get the respect from LA.
You know, growing up when I was young, I didn't know people that were from like San Bernardino or the IE in general. Like, I didn't know people until I went to jail that people will get that shit tatted. Yeah. Like, people have IE or Avalon or wherever the fuck they're from out there tatted up, and you know, because in jail it's important to get to walk around with your tats showing, to show where you're at, where you're from, right? So I'm like, damn, there's really fools out there from San Bernardino or IE, like, really tatted up. Yeah,
we have a lot of pride in being from IE. That's the reason why there's fucking like 20 IE roll calls, means songs that are always get released like every year. But that's why we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to build our own little thing right now, and it's looking good. You know, I'm not the spokesperson from the IE or anything, but like like there's a lot of. We feel sometimes really slighted by what's happening and what comes out and happens in LA, because I don't know, they just every opportunity they get to punk us or try to say some shit about us, That's the running joke. It's like, oh, we're somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in the IE or some shit, or Fontana, or they'll say like a city out there, and demean kind of what it is. And
they call it Fontucky and shit.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, to be honest, it is Fontucky though.
What does that mean?
It is.
What does that even mean?
It's just like it's just small town. That's what they're trying to say. It's like it's a small town, and probably some cousins are fucking here and there. But but for the most part, it's literally just because it's like, oh, it's a small. But now it's not even small. You know,
I was gonna say that because I was working for this one company and their headquarters was in Rialto.
Yeah. So
me growing up, like say I'm going to Arizona or I'm visiting family, whatever. I think my dad has an aunt out there, San Bernardino, where that big ass the elephant is on the side of the road, whatever the fuck that shit is. But we used to go out there and it used to be nothing, dog. And now you're driving out there and like, oh shit, these fools got like in and out. These fools got malls and shit. Like, you fools have nice houses everywhere and shit. We're like, what the fuck? It just out of nowhere, it felt like it just popped up.
Right. And I don't know if that's like part of it. Part of the disrespect may also from not people not going out there, but part of disrespect I think comes from like, oh, you guys are in the suburbs or some shit, and it's like, bro, there's hoods inside suburbs. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it doesn't matter.
Like outside right here looks like a suburb, right?
It looks like a suburb, and I'm pretty sure there's drive-bys and shit like on this fucking street, bro.
It's just tract housing. You know, tract housing has always been a thing where like the city makes these type of houses so more people could pack in, and you could fucking make money off taxes.
Right. Yeah, that's all it is. It's all at the end of the day. But it's there's a hood in every fucking city, and especially in the IE, there's a hood in every fucking city. So that's why I feel like sometimes like we get slighted a lot from LA, and I don't like that, but I love LA. I love being out here, bro. It's fucking cool as fuck. I love the LA. I love the street life out here. I love the fucking there's fucking taco vendors and shit on every fucking corner. Now we've kind of adopted that shit too, So I think like our next move at the entirety of the IE is kind of to just LAify, I guess, IE a little bit, but with our own flavor and shit, our IE flavor, and then have these foods from out here respect us more.
I think what it is also the biggest, like the wedge between the LA, why we would look at you guys kind of like a little brother type of shit. Yeah. It's because we didn't know what the fuck was going on out there. So when you don't know something, you're kind of afraid of it until you start understanding it. And then now with social media, like especially with the food pages, like we see like, oh, these foods from the IE, they dress like us, they talk like us. Sometimes they even fucking like are a little more hood than us and shit like that. So now you guys are getting like a little bit more like respect because I'm like, oh, they're basically us. They just live an hour away.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think
if someone asks me from Arizona, where do you live? I'm gonna be like, LA. Because they don't know where the fuck the IE is.
That's to avoid the conversation. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's right here.
Yeah. It's like an hour. Or I could just say that I'm an hour away from LA is what I would say.
I say I'm from LA too.
Yeah.
But if I'm here, if I'm in around or surrounding city right here, like where are you from? I'm from Southgate. Yeah. And they're like, where's that? Yeah. I'm like, well, it's right next to Downey. And people know Downey for some reason.
Why Downey?
I don't know. People know that. Know Downey more than Southgate.
I have a couple cousins that are Downey, but syndrome, but they're still Downey. It's like they're down for their shit. Yeah, they're down for their shit. They're game bangers, but they have Down syndrome. It's crazy. They don't always shoot the right place, but
they're super down.
Yeah. Sometimes they have the gun pointed this way, but it's all good. It's like sometimes we feel disrespect a little bit, but it's cool because we're gonna start building our own shit, and it's all love for anybody out there in LA. If you guys want to ever come out to the IE, just don't ever come trying to bang your LA set out there. That's when we really get offended. Because people out there rocking LA hats all the time and shit, but and Dodger jerseys and Laker jerseys, but just don't come out there like trying to bang your set. Like, what do you expect? Like, people are gonna get pissed, Not me. I'm gonna stay out of my business, bro. I'm gonna be in my house.
I ain't say shit,
bro. But I know people out there are gonna be pissed about it. So just don't do it.
I'm just warning you.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
But a lot of people from here, like, it's always been a thing where like you either get in trouble and you get sent out there, or your whole family moves from LA to over there.
And that's why I used to get mad too. I'm like, you guys. You're not that tough, bro. You got pushed out. What are you talking about? You got punked out. So like, adopt this shit already because we all gotta live together, and I gotta see you every day. So it's like, bro, or those people like I never understood it either. Like they've been like I had friends I was growing up with, and they'd be like, oh yeah, well, I'm from LA, fool, and it's like, you've been here since 3rd grade, dog. Like, and lived all the way over here like your whole life. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like you're not from LA no more.
You're not from there. You're from here. So it's like. It gets weird. It gets weird. But honestly, fuck it. All love to LA. IE loves y'all. Love us back. Yeah. All right. So that's all I gotta say. Yeah. And then
It's kind of like when you beef it with some food, and then at the end you find out like, oh, this was actually fucking cool.
Yeah. We fucked the same bitch. It's all good.
At first you're beefing over the same bitch, and then years pass, you're like, this guy's actually pretty cool.
I made out with your bitch, bro. My bad, dog. She was my first kiss though. It's all good.
It's fucking crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Growing up, like, what were some of your biggest memories from, like, what is it to do out there? Like, what do you guys do for fun and shit? Like, tell me more about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, nothing. Absolutely. If we're being honest, it's not gonna lie, we had to come out here for a lot of shit to do a lot of stuff.
And when you guys come out here, what do you guys like to do out here? Like, what's your things that you remember?
Start problems. Nah, I mean, obviously, we come to, like, Mexico games. Okay. You know, because they play here at the Coliseum. Yeah. There's like rave. Oh, you know what there is to do out there is rave, like EDM shit.
Oh, because it's like open fields and shit, right?
Yeah. No, we have the Knot Center. So they go to the Knot Center, the National Orange Show. It's a convention center. It's right there.
It's a convention center.
Yeah. So it's like it's pretty big actually, and then but it's like smack there in the middle of the ghetto of SB, and you can literally go and see all the fucking great DJs that are going to be at EDC or anything, which I was just at. But you can literally see them there too. You know, it's like they have love. I don't know. For some reason, they have love for SB. So all the events, all the Insomniac events that are ever performing, they're always at the Knot Center. And so I would say like there's a lot of that's what we mostly do is we go rave. Because there's also a lot of rave parties and shit that happen out there a lot too, like that are not related to Insomniac, but their own shit. Like, oh, DJ fucking I robbed your house last week, out there performing and shit.
Damn.
And and then now we have Ontario. They have Ontario Mills, the malls, Ontario Mills, Victoria Gardens, Inland Center. Watch out at Inland Center, don't get robbed. Swap meets and shit, and there's a lot of places to shop. There's a lot of places to eat now out there. I think I'm excited. There's a Starbucks. There's a Starbucks up the street. Boy, yeah, we're gonna get us Sbarro's by my job. I'm excited.
Sbarro, the mall pizza.
Yeah, sick. I actually like that shit, bro.
You like it?
I like Sbarro's, but I mean that shit's expensive. But
I never really had it.
No, it's like you ever heard of the David Dobrik? How he has dough bricks out here?
Yeah,
exactly the same thing.
It's exactly
the same thing. It's the same recipe.
I haven't been to Dobrik's either.
No, you need to go though.
Yeah, have you been?
Yeah, it's a vlog actually on there for Maple Alley.
Okay.
It was fun. It was fun going out there. I mean, the pizza was like I could have just went to Sbarro's, but it was cool. It wasn't the worst pizza I ever had.
I've been to like Prince Street and like these other little like pizza places from like on the west side or by downtown, the nice area where like they're from New York or Brooklyn and they bring their pizza over here. And I'm all like, bro, honestly, Pizza Hut kind of goes hard.
Dude, why are people from New York always like that though? They're always like, if it's not like New York, if it's not New York, they shit on it, fool. Yeah. I swear, they'll be like, oh, this fucking pizza is fucking trash. It's not like it's from like New York.
Like if they don't make.
Yeah, bro, it's not from New York. You get in your fucking car, you drive like 15 minutes. like, bro, shut the fuck up. You're not in New York anymore. Relax.
Yeah, you're out here for a reason, bitch.
Yeah, it's like
New York sucks.
When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's how it is.
You brought up Maple Alley. Tell us more what that is about.
Maple Alley is 4 of my homies. With three of my homies, like Gazelle from Ponte Las Pillas, and then my other 2 homies, they're DJs, they're EDM DJs, and they're popping too actually. Wolf Logic, so they're doing their own stuff, and we thought like, hey, we should try to bring both of our fan bases together to try to bring some type of extra content that they probably wouldn't get from either of our side if we just did it on one side. So we're trying to do like this. We try to do crazy shit like challenges. We try to do like vlogs. We're doing like the EDC vlog should be up soon. We just did a challenge right now where we try to test like different beers and shit, and but blindfolded, and try to see if we can guess them. And if you didn't get it right, you got fucked up with a bunch of pillows, fool. And they were swinging them bitches hard, fool. I don't know if you saw. I got fucking tossed like a salad.
Damn.
But this was fucked me up. And that was fun, and we're going to do a lot more of that kinds of stuff, in the future and stuff. We're excited about it. So go ahead and check out Maple Alley on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can see whenever we upload anything new.
That's a professional. I like that. What's up with that 12-minute episode you guys dropped?
The what?
The 12-minute episode. You guys on Ponte Las Pilas, like your last podcast.
It was 12 minutes?
Was it 12 minutes or 20?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
No, it was a short-ass episode.
It was, bro, because fucking Lalo got drunk in the fucking hotel room, and he was fucking just like... We were in EDC and we're in the hotel and we all got too fucked up. Well, basically all of us. We all got too fucked up. The conversation never really went anywhere. People were pissed as fuck. So now I guess it was only 20 minutes. I didn't know how long it was. But if it's only 20 minutes, fuck, dude. I guess we owe you guys another fucking podcast soon coming up. That I actually, you know what? I did get a message that I was like, oh, the next one better be 2 hours. And I'm like, I mean, okay. Like I in my head, I was like, maybe it was only like an hour or 45 minutes, but 20 minutes. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think it was 20 minutes. I was trying to listen to it. How does what is the response you get like having like fans and shit? Like how does that feel?
Bro, all these people are trying to fuck me, bro. It's just wild, bro. Guys, like you're girls, lucky you have a girlfriend. Fucking fat tortas, fool. It's crazy, bro. Nah, I'm playing, but it's cool as fuck. I got recognized at EDC a couple times, and I fucking lost the bet because when we all showed up to Vegas, we were like, whoever gets recognized first has to buy shots for everybody. So now I owe everybody fucking shots because I think I'm the only one that got recognized. I got recognized twice at both of them were at EDC for different days. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like I never thought I would have like a fan base. I don't really consider it a fan base, but thank you guys. I consider them more like homies because when I talk to people, I talk to them like I've known them for a long time because like I want to be friends with people with my fan base or quote unquote, you know, like I want to be friends with these fools. So I'll talk to them, I'll chop it up. They tell me about their lives and shit, and I'm like, damn, fool, rest in peace your grandma. Fool, like she was a real one. I heard she was a squirter, you know, like I just fucking like try to do anything, fool. And then people the ones I like the most are when people are like, oh, we were in a hard time. You know, like I was yanking it like 8 times a day. Like I was just trying to depressed, you know, and then I'll be like, that's cool. Like you got video. Like, nah, but I'll be like I like those ones because it means a lot to me when they say like, you guys, I was going through a tough time and then listening to you guys help me get through it. And I'm like, that's weird because doing the podcast is how I get through it. Like kicking it with my homies is how I get through it. Yeah. So we're feeling the same emotion, you know, you just probably feel like you're like on the outside looking in, but I consider you like you're with us, you know. So yeah, whoever's watching us, it's like you're a part of us now. You're our homies now. So it's like yeah, like we go through stuff the same way. It's
like a podcast inception, you know.
Yeah.
I like that's one of the best things I think about podcasting. Like it kind of makes people feel like they're here, kicking it with us, you know.
Right.
They're listening to the conversation and just fools just talking, chopping it up and shit.
Sometimes fools get weird though. Sometimes like this guy sent me a fucking video of him fucking his girl.
With the podcast in the background?
No. Imagine. We didn't even get a shout out of it. It was just a dude fucking his girl. And I was like, all right, dog. I deleted it.
Thank you, I guess.
But I don't block anyone. I fucking accept all requests usually. And then I try to talk to everybody and personalize my shit because that's what they want from you. They want to know you. Like, that's why they listen to your podcast. So it's really important that you go and talk to your fans and shit because it means a lot to them. Even if it be random people on my story and be like, it's their birthday, you know, I'll be like, oh, happy birthday. Because it's like, it doesn't mean shit to me. It doesn't take long to do it. And those people love that you did it, you know, and they feel like they're close to you when they do it. So with that being said, every happy birthday is going to cost $50 now. So go ahead and fucking tap in with my Cash App.
Hell yeah. Cash App in the link.
Yeah.
What can we expect as far as like from Ponte las Pillas or like anything that you're working with right now?
Yeah, so I'll start with Ponte las Pillas. And what we're going to try to do is we're really working to get the merch out for a lot of the people. I'm fucking wearing a sample right now. This isn't what's going to be released. This is kind of just like our sample shit, but we're going to try to release I don't know why I pinched my nipple like that shit. I was like, But yeah, it was we're working on merch. We're like really close to getting officially like printed, and now it's done. And then after we just tell everybody like, hey, it's out. So close to that. We're close to doing a live show soon, possibly where the same place where Isimo was. Where it was probably where we're trying to do it. Trying to work with people. We're trying to get way more guests onto the podcast. You know, like comedians.
I was gonna say, how do you guys pull these badass guests? You guys have really good guests.
We just message them. We just tell them and then a lot of the times they go and they look at our shit, and then we gotta lie to them a little bit, like, oh yeah, we're like 15 minutes away from the Ontario Improv, you know, because if you tell them the IE, they get like all like, nah, I don't know about that, you know. But if you say like I'm 15 minutes away from the Ontario Improv, they'll be like, all right, I'll pull up, you know. And so, yeah, I don't really know how it is that they like coming on. We just kind of just tell them like, hey, like we, you know, because we don't try to get people on, just anybody on. It's usually people we're fans of. Mm-hmm. So they see also like, oh, we've liked your posts before in the past. We've commented on your shit. Like, because we like what you're posting. And if we like what you're posting, we're going to hit you up. We're going to ask you. And then sometimes they go ahead and ask us to like, hey, like we want to be on your guys' podcast. And that's when it's like, damn, that's sick as fuck, you know? Mm-hmm. Like that's how it was with Alfred Robles, like, or Richard Villa. Like those we didn't ask them, they asked us, you know. And I was like, damn, that's fucking cool, you know. Like they're one of the people, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we like, and that's what we ask for, and then that favor always gets returned. And we always try to go and see them live. Like we always go and like, we'll buy tickets, you know, and be like, hey, like Like we love, cause they don't have to drive out there, fool. Like for what reason? You know, we know that's one thing we expected when we did an IE podcast is we knew that people were probably not gonna show up unless we come out here. Mm-hmm. And the fact that those people are coming out there means a lot to us. So we appreciate them and we treat them like homies too when they're there. And yeah, I would say that's how we pull.
That's how you pull.
Yeah, that's how we pull.
Bitches, bad bitches. Yeah. That fool, I've heard. There's a couple guys that I've tried to get on the pod and like they just leave us on red and shit.
Oh man, it's tough though.
Did that happen in the beginning for you guys too?
Every single time, bro.
Because
to be fair, we were hitting up like Joe Rogan and shit too. Like we were just hitting up those bookies and we're like, come tour, like come play in the garage. But my bad. The studio, Lalo, the studio. But yeah, I mean, we got rejected a lot. There's a lot of times where there's a lot of guests still that stood us up on certain weeks when we had them scheduled on, and literally the morning of they'll be like, hey, like I can't show up, and we don't take it to heart though. We don't take it personal because, you know, we have to expect that there's a lot of people in their DMs that want them on podcasts too, and they also have busy ass schedules. So we don't take that shit personal.
I try not to, dog, but I'm also I'm the kind of guy that does take it personal.
Dog. I know. Because I try not to though. I used to be like that too, and I'm still like that to an extent to certain people that we've tried to have on, you know, and they've canceled more than once on us, you know. Mm-hmm. And but I just have to remember I don't want to take it personal, and that's why I try to make it a point to come out here too, because I was like I know what that's like to be like, you just want somebody to come on, you know, and not to say I'm your savior or anything like that, but by no means am I saying that, because you guys are building that shit and I love what you guys are doing, you know. Thank you. But that was like more reason, because it's like, yeah, like coming out here, like it's, you know, whatever guest it is, you usually see that people are coming in, you know, and whether how big or small they are, you know, it doesn't matter. So I know what that's like to just be like, oh, we just need that one fucking guest that'll take us to this next little step, even if it's like not that much growth.
No, I appreciate you coming, because I was telling you, like your podcast and you guys are way bigger than us and stuff. So I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, no
but
problem,
it is true. Like I think having Melvin really opened the door for like having like you probably wouldn't have came if you didn't see Melvin on here.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't have known the podcast.
Yeah. So like having each guest kind of opens up a new door of a few different people.
Yeah,
which isn't sometimes you kind of don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to have a podcast where it's just a bunch of guests, because then people just come to see guests, right?
Right.
But it's also like marketing wise, like it's really smart to have different people on your podcast.
Yeah. And then you guys got that baddie shit
talk.
too, right? Baddie talk. I was like, damn, those bitches are down as fuck. I thought they were gonna be here too. I was like, oh, I was hoping. But because I had some questions for them, what the fuck?
You know, they're a lot of people are requesting to be on their show, with them Baddie Talk, but they just got started, dog. They're on their second episode, and all
right, let the chemistry work out. Let one of them kind of like leave, because they'll get mad about some shit, because you know bitches get mad about shit.
And then it's like, this is our second try at a girl show, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it's not that it's about a guy or girl thing. It's just like I think girls just have more a complicated life than guys and shit. And podcasting, I think, is easier for guys than for girls.
Yeah.
And they're also like a little nervous. So I think eventually I'm gonna try to have like different guests on their shit.
Yeah.
Which should be fun. But honestly, people are loving. It's probably the best podcast we have right now.
Well, tell them I'm trying to come on Baddie Talk, because I'll talk my shit, boy. I'll fucking.
And they're down too. They all love going to EDC and all that shit. Like, they're ravers and shit.
I should have seen in there the hard style ravers with the hard style flavor.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We good?
Was that you?
No. My shit's off.
What the fuck noise was that?
I don't know what that was. Probably camera. Do you want to check your camera real quick? I don't know.
It's good. It says recording.
All right.
That was weird.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so Ponte Las Pillas, we're working on a bunch of shit right now. Music wise, shout out to Rudy G, David the Don, Sonny Babel. I'm working with all those foods. Elite. I'm working with all these foods. Some of our shit's gonna come out soon. I know. Me and Elite stuff is probably supposed to come out either this month or next month. Mm-hmm. Most likely next month, and then the same thing with Davey. I haven't scheduled anything with Sonny, but shout out them because they're actually fucking killing it out there. Sonny and Rudy G, especially right there in like the corrido type of aspect, like grupo shit.
Yeah,
that's what that fool Rudy G's working on and shit. And he's working with some big ass people. Like big ass people are coming to his studio, and so much respect to him because he's finding the lane right now, and he's like all go. He's like no stopping. So much happy birthday to Sonny Babel and happy birthday to David the Don. I didn't fucking forget. And yeah, and then that's what I'm doing in terms of music. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it for now.
Sick. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on the pod. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Much love and shit. Whenever you guys do the live show, definitely want to be there and shit. That'll be fucking dope.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, whenever you guys want to come on, possibly Ponte las Pillas, we'll try to get something going for you guys to come on to our podcast. So
that'll be crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out. And if anybody wants to follow me, Infinite Dreamz 909 on Instagram, you know, we're trying to get onto Twitter again. I don't like Twitter though.
Yeah.
So just hit me on it. If you guys want to DM me or talk to me, I'll fucking talk to anybody, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, go follow the homie. Shout out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.
Laters.